was telling about inheritance. Okay, so from there we'll begin. So we have us understand single inheritance. Okay, now let's first revise that what is inheritance, then we will come up forward. Suppose there is a class B, suppose there is a class A. Okay, and class A have some properties. So class A has some properties. Properties means variables. Okay, class A have some properties, and class A have some behavior. Okay, behavior means methods. Okay, so even we go for some blocks. Okay, before we go for interview we read some blocks. So normally we find these definitions. A class have some properties and behavior. Okay, and inheritance extends the properties of another properties and behavior of other class. Okay, so there is a class A. This class A have some properties. So properties means variables. Okay, variables, and behavior means methods. So never be confused now. So class A have some properties. Okay, this has some features. So this class A will perform something for you. Okay, suppose it has method for adding two numbers, it has method for subtracting two numbers, just like I have given you an example in the last session. Okay, now class B. Okay, class B have also same working, like it this class wants, and the requirement is in the such way that this class also wants to add and subtract something, but it it wants also to multiply and divide. So why not we extend these properties from class A, and whatever else is required we write here. Okay, so same way what I have done, that it this class has addition and subtract method. Okay, so class B wants this behavior. Okay, class B also wants this behavior, means we don't need to write this much code. Okay, and this is just a small example, means this is just a basic example, actually a college example. Okay, but in real time we don't add and subtract. Okay, in real time, suppose uh, if we take an example from automation, then we need to launch the browser. Okay, because web automation part, suppose I am using Selenium, then then I have to launch the Chrome browser, suppose. So will I write every time launching the Chrome driver code again and again in the each and every class, in the each and every test case? No. So better to write in a single class and extend that class in other classes which wants to write that automation code. Okay, so this in real time the things are different, but to understand how we can work with that, we have this actually uh, example. Okay, so this class B wants to uh, addition and subtraction of two numbers, as well as this class B wants to write some of its own methods like multiply and divide. Okay, so what it will do, it will extends A. So the question, anybody take volunteership of writing all those questions coming through the sessions. Okay, whatever I am telling as of now, suppose this is example how you can perform single inheritance in Java. So your answer should be using extends keyword. Okay, so very basic questions will be asked from the testers. Okay, nobody will going to ask you Spring Boot and web services and microservices. Okay, nobody is going to ask these things with you. Normal simple Java code they will ask you and you have to reply. Okay, so anybody writing, if writing, then you can share in all your groups and share with me. I will share with everyone. Although after the end of the course I will be sharing my own notes also, but meanwhile many things that I don't I have not written in my notes, you can write here anybody anytime I am telling you, and then you can share with each and everyone. Okay, so this will help you only, not to them, because whenever you write, whenever you teach, whenever you share, then it will be helping you only. Okay, so the interview question is that how you can perform the inheritance in Java. So simple answer should be using extends keywords. Don't start a theory, and nobody is interested to listen to you for long time. If you can give you your answer within a second, then why he will listen to you? He will understand that okay, you don't have idea, you are just creating a theory. Okay, so here class B extends class A. So what will be coming to class B? This behavior, addition and subtraction. Okay, now class B wants its own methods, so it will write its own method, multiply and divide. Okay, so this is which inheritance this is? This is single inheritance. How this is single inheritance? Because one class is class B is extending the properties of class A, means single class is extending properties of a single class. Okay, so this is single inheritance. Okay, okay, so this example I have given in the last session, that there is a class parent, in Java we call as a parent. In this class parent we have a method addition number and multiply, and child class, not like this example in sequential way, I have written in like uh, addition and subtraction is not there, but addition and multiply. Okay, and the child class want to subtract. Okay, so already it has the properties of parent class, because extending parent, and this main is just creating the object of the child class. So if it will create the object of the child class, it will be able to access all the properties and behavior of the parent class also, because this child class is extending all that properties. If I remove this extend, then of course it will not able to extend the properties of this parent class, and this statement will not be valid. Which statement? I am accessing these two methods which are present in parent class. Okay, if I will comment this, then I will not able to access this, because this is coming through inheritance. Okay, this is just a revision of the last class. Okay, so in the last class we have understand that what is single level inheritance. Okay, now let's move to multi level inheritance. Anybody in the having any doubt, then ask me, otherwise I'll move forward. Okay, now I will create a package of multi level inheritance, so that you can access this package. At the end of the course I will share all this code with you guys. Okay, now in this one I will create a class, simple classes to understand, class A. Okay, now let's remove this parent child for old example. Okay, now this time I will create very simple methods. Okay, class A and create a new class, class B, one more class C, and then main. Main will always have main method. So class A has, suppose, one method void m1. Okay, and void m2. My screen is visual, right? Not like last time. Okay, then m1 from class A, and let's just copy it out and paste here. m1 m2 from class A. So in class A I have created two methods, m1 and m2. Let me create two more methods in class B. Just see what I am writing. Just for saving our time, I will copy and paste this code here. Make it m3 and m4, and this is m3 from class B. I hope you guys understand what I am doing. And class B, not m3, this is m4. Okay, all okay. Now same I will copy in class C, and m5, m6, m5, m6, class B, C, sorry. Okay, what I have done, I have created three classes in multi-level inheritance, because of course we should have multiple classes, more than two classes, to understand what is multi-level inheritance. Because in the last example we have understand that what is single level inheritance. So only two classes are needed, one parent and one child. But for understanding multi-level inheritance we should have at least three classes, so that single level inheritance is always there, but we need to understand what is multi-level. So multiple levels should be there, more than two levels. Okay, so in I have taken two classes, and here in class A I have two methods, m1 and m2. Okay, the second class class B has two methods, m3 and m4, marking them as m1, m2, m3, m4, m5, so that you guys can relate that which method is of which class. So that I have messaged also that there, when we'll be calling, then output should be like that. We should that we will able to understand that output. Okay, we should be able to understand that. And now here void m5 and m6 in class C. Okay, I assume that there is no doubt to everyone. Is it performing multi-level inheritance? No. Why? Yeah, because I have not extended any class to anyone. Okay, suppose this class B extend class A. Okay, now can anybody tell me, irrespective of visibility, how many methods are present in this class B? I will just name out some people, and if they can answer. Yeah, Anil. So total how much? 4 methods. Okay. Yeah, right. Suppose this class C extends class B. Now how many methods are present in class C? I'll just name some people. Asutos. If you guys don't mind. Ye- yes. Total 4. No, actually it's incorrect. Atul. Okay, anybody wants to take volunteership? Yeah. Yes, yes. Yes. And how 6 methods? Because class A has 2 methods. When class B is extending class A, then those 2 methods are coming in the class B, and class B has its own 2 methods. So total 4 methods are present in class B. Whenever class C is extending this class B, so class C has its own 2 methods. Okay, so 2 plus 4 is coming from class B. Although you can see here only 2 methods, but it has 4 methods actually. So total 6 methods are present in class B. Okay. Yes. How will B and C will be connected? Means I don't understand your question actually. Okay, let me explain in other way. Suppose my grandfather has 50 lakhs rupees. Okay, and he just fixed deposit it, and you cannot withdraw that money until for 25 years or 30 years, just for an example. Okay, and suppose he passed away, and this money is uh, by default it will be coming to my father. Okay, and my father has fixed deposit his own money 30 lakhs, suppose. Okay, so suppose just for an example, something goes wrong, and I am actually the nominee, then what will happen? Those 50 lakh rupees which was transferred to my father plus 30 lakhs rupees which he has fixed deposit will be coming to me. Okay, so simply here that void m1 and m2 is coming to B. Okay, so it has 4 methods. Whenever C is extending, so why only 2 methods will be coming? Whatever will be present in class B will be coming to class C. This is the rule of inheritance. Okay, does not matter you can't see here, but it will be coming. So this is the rule. Okay, so okay, now just for understanding purpose, there is a burden in class C. Suppose class C only wants one method from class A, and class B also wants one method from class A, and the class C only wants one method from class B and one method from class A, but by default 4 is coming, so there is burden in class B. Okay, hopefully you guys can understand. Just like you have extended the property of your grandparent and parent, you have to be responsible for their liabilities also. Okay, so this C has the liability. What is the liability here? Memory consumption will be lot of, whenever object will be created for class C, there will be memory consumptions. Okay, but you don't need to understand this. Okay, nobody will ask you, but just for your knowledge purpose. Yeah, someone is asking some. Please keep yourself mute whenever you are not speaking. So here, uh, just keep that point whatever I just said in the pause mode. I will be explaining that what the story behind. Let me just create the object for class C. So C is equal to new C. I create in that way only, because I don't write obj, because in my project suppose I have 200 classes and I am writing obj1, obj2, obj3. How will I recognize which class object I have created when I need to call certain method? Okay, but if I write by name, then I can understand, okay, this object is for class C. Okay, so here C, and now if I write C dot, you can see m1, m2, m3, m4, m5, 6, all I can call, right? So this is proved. Okay, C dot m1, then I will just copy and paste it. C dot m2, C dot m3, C dot m4, C dot m5, C dot m6. In case you have not seen, let me just write it down. C dot, you can see all this method which you can call m1, m2, m3, m4, m5, m6. It is suggesting you. Eclipse is very smart, so you need to understand this. Okay, so just for your understanding. Okay, so all, whenever you have created the object, by default this 6 method memory is allocated. Whether you call it or not call, this is stored in the memory, so lots of memory wastage there. To overcome this problem, we have some solutions that I'll be talking you in the maybe today or tomorrow, but hopefully you guys understand that what is multi-level inheritance. Single and then multi-level. So multi-level is what that class A giving its property to class B, class B is giving its property to class C. Okay, I hope you guys can relate it, that there are more than two levels. Two levels means what? A and B, and the third level is C. So you can understand why it is called multi-level inheritance. Okay, now there is nothing more than this. Okay, you might be reading in the blocks hierarchical and means whatever you see there is just a yeah, hierarchical and hybrid, these are just the combination of the multi-level and single level. Okay, so we don't need to go for them. Okay, we don't need to understand this. Hybrid means what? A is uh, B is extending A, C is also extending explicitly to A, not extending B. Okay, so means anybody, any class can take the properties of any class. This reliability is actually hierarchical or hybrid, whatever you say. Okay, so we have only two levels supported in Java, which is single level and multi-level. Okay, there is other format also which is not supported in Java, multiple, which is different from single level and multi-level. Okay, but it is not supported in Java, and this is a very famous question, why multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. You guys can note it down, I will be explaining it today. So for that we need to understand two theories. One is the diamond problem and one is the constructor chaining. Okay, so we will understand this, but before that we should be very clear, then there is no any other inheritance than single, multi-level and multiple. All are just combination of single, multi-level in Java. But if it was an other language, then I can say that combination of multi-level, multiple also. Okay, but multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. So why it is not supported? Let's first understand what is multiple level inheritance. Okay, what is multiple level inheritance? See, don't be confused when I am explaining this. Class B is extending the properties of class A, okay, and class C is the extending the properties of class B. Class C has nothing to do with the class A directly. There is no direct relationship. Whatever relation is there with the class B only. Okay. Same way, if there is a class D, then class D can extend the class D can extend the properties of class C. So this is multiple level inheritance. But when I talk about multiple inheritance, when I talk about multiple inheritance, then it is that why, then it means that class C extends A comma B, means class C will be extending class A and class C will be extending class B. Here you can understand that sir, A is extending B, B is extending C is extending B, D is extending C. Why not do this way? But actually this is an example. Maybe there is a class E or some independent class M1, then what will you do? Okay, okay, now it wants to extend A and M1. How it is, it will not be able to do this. Okay, means one class wants to extend the properties of multiple classes, more than one class. Okay, then this is not possible in Java. You can note it down, otherwise you will be confused. Sometimes people get confused with their minds, whatever they create their confusion reason. But here the simple thing is that if I want to, simple is that India, in normal families, you will not have two parents. Okay, you will have single parent. Okay, single parent means mother and father. Okay, so simply here, this in Java, in this Java, you can it cannot have the multiple parents. A class cannot have multiple parents, means but if you go for arguments, then of the counter argument that this is possible through in interface, not okay. I will prove that with using interface, that is also not possible, because this is just a conspiracy theory. Okay, because if you have not written anything in that interface and you are able to extend that, what will you do with the blank class? Okay, so all will be, we will be learning in depth in upcoming session. As of now, my agenda is why multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. Okay, this is a famous interview question, supposed to be asked every time whenever you are giving an interview to 2 or 3 years of experience in Selenium with Java or any programming language. Okay, so let's just understand for 2 points first. What is first answer is diamond problem, and the second answer is constructor chaining. Okay, so what is diamond problem? Let me just create example here, because it's not possible, so I can't go in the Eclipse. There is a class A. Okay, and class A has two methods, M1. Let's just go to Eclipse. Maybe error will be there, but you guys can relate it, because here I have some issues with writing these things. Multiple copy and never create anything in the default package. Just delete this and write your own. Screen is hanged for her or for everyone. Okay. You guys can check your connections as well. This might be happening just for slow internet connection. Multiple inheritance, and in this I will just paste that class, not there. Again, class A, close this previous class A in other package, save it. Class B, class C, need attention from you guys, main. Now same thing, class A has two methods, void m1 void m2. Okay, if you want to write some code here, m1 in class A, m2 in class A. Okay, I will copy and paste this method in class okay, and class C will be extending class B, and it has its own method, void m5. m5 in class C. Let me extend this. Or let not use this keyword, otherwise what is, and let me just try out extends A comma B. This means right multiple inheritance. Let me see what is the error here. So error is that it is not supported actually. Okay, otherwise it will be allowing us to extend that class. Now we have to understand what is diamond problem. See, first of all we need to understand how I can perform multiple inheritance. Let's go back to notepad. By extending multiple classes, so C will be able to extend A and m1. As of now I am considering B as m1. Okay, so C, if C class C will be able to extend these two classes A and B, then multiple inheritance will be performed, but it is not able to do that. So for that reason you can see that this uh, syntax is incorrect. Okay, so if that syntax is incorrect, because Java is not allowing to extend two classes. Okay, but why it has prohibited this this feature in Java? Okay, this why this feature is not valid in Java? Because there is a diamond problem, and now we have to understand the diamond problem. Suppose this class A has method m1. Okay, uh, there is a class A and there is a method in class A m1. Okay, and this class B also have method m1. Okay, just as of now forget about this m2. Okay, and this class has m4 method. I just copy it out. Just I am changing the text here, there's some code here, so that you will not get any confusion. Okay, m4, okay, in class B, and this is m1 in class B. So now resume again that in class A we have two methods, m1 and m2. In class B we have two methods, m1 and m4. You might be confused because there is a method named m1, but in the real time a method is what is performing some operations. Okay, so suppose there a method name sign up. Okay, so that method is performing sign up, and in other class we have other sign up for other pages. Okay, so there might be working is same for sign up sometimes. Okay, but both classes have the sign up method. But if now if class C extends both, there is a problem. What is the problem? Let's come back to the previous mode, that class A has method m1, class B have also same method m1. Why it cannot create? It can create, it is not extending anything, so you cannot say it is overriding. I will come to what is overriding later on, but first understand uh, about multiple inheritance and diamond problem. So this is independent class B, class A is independent class A, it is not extending anything, class B is not extending any class. Okay, now class A has two methods m1 and m2, class B has also two methods m1 and m4. These both of the classes have same method m1, and B also have m1, two methods in common. Okay, if class C extends this class A, and suppose multiple inheritance is allowed, and I have written like a comma b, so it is extending class B, suppose for short time. Okay, now when I will be creating object for class C, okay, when I will be creating object for class C, now this will be confused, because class C is extending class A also, class B also. Now this object will be confused, which I will be creating in main. C is equal to new C, although this syntax is not correct because it is not allowed in Java. So if I save this, then you might getting an error here. Okay, you can see this error. It is saying that, okay, I am creating the object for class C, but first tell me when I will be calling this m1. Okay, tell me which class m1 method this is, either for class A, which is performing sign up operation for Flipkart, or class B, which is performing for sign up operation for Flipkart seller's account. Okay, customer account, seller account, both can sign up. Now tell me which which sign up method I have to call. This is suppose class seller, this is suppose class by customer. So although you can relate with your own example, but I am just giving example by m1 methods in common. Okay, now c class object I have created, and c is calling both of the classes a and b. Now it is confused, object is confused which which class method implementation should invoke, because m1 is present in class a also, m1 is present in class b also. Now it is confused which class m1 method it should invoke, because class b has some different task. M1 method has some different class in class b, m1 method in class a has some different task. Now this object is confused which should I call, either for m1 a class m1 method or b class m1 method. This problem is called diamond problem. Okay, so here if I cannot tell me actually why it is called, let me just try out in paint why it is called, because there is diamond shape created actually here. This is class a, this is class b, class c is trying to call this as a parent, and class b, class c is also trying to call class b. So some if there was a class c or class d which is extended by class a or b, so like it is assuming that this is one level of multiple. Suppose class a is extending d and b, so something like a diamond is created. That's why it is called diamond problem. Okay, just I explained you, but it is not required. Half diamond is created in my example. In your case you might have multiple level of multi-level inheritance perform, single level inheritance perform, then uh, you want to perform this inheritance. So something like that diamond shape is created, that's why it is called diamond problem. Okay, but the problem just for your understanding why it is not supported in Java, I have explained you, because there are two methods m1 which is m1 is present in class a, m1 is also present in class b. Now I have created I have extended both of the classes a and b, and I want to invoke the method of I want to invoke method m1. Now how it will define that which m1 method it should call, which either a class m1 method or b class m1 method. That's why one of the reason is explained why it is not supported in Java, multiple inheritance. Anybody has any doubt or? Same method name is possible in multi-level, of course, but if you do there see, that is not actually, let me explain you. In b class is extending class a, okay, c class is extending class b. So you can have same names, but that can, that is not actually different methods, that are overridden methods. I'll be coming to that topic. From this example I'll explain you. Okay, any other doubt? Okay, for yes, your question is valid, that what if I don't have the same name, then it should be allowing me to call multiple classes, and it should allow multiple inheritance. That is your confusion, right? Yeah. Yes, yes. But actually, this is your assumption only, that I can do this, I can do this. But the developers of Java has a thought process, okay, that if that will be happen, it should be not happen. Okay, it means that they are considering what whosoever has created the Java, they are considering that this might be possibility sometime, that people wants to write same methods, okay, and want to call, okay, then this situation may occur. Then what should be the solution is that not allow the multiple inheritance. Okay, you are actually passing the conditional question, okay, that if it is not happening, then it should allow. But it is not correct. Okay, if it is not happening, whatever I am telling, if that is happening, then okay, so they cannot have two solutions for one thing. Okay, that like you have said that if it not the case, then why should it not allow the multiple inheritance? But I am saying that if it is the case, then what is the solution? So solution is that not allow this multiple inheritance. Okay, also there is one more reason which will be clearing your doubt, which is constructor chaining. Okay, so we'll be understanding later in later sessions. Okay, constructor chaining maybe tomorrow. Okay, uh, she's saying that if this was not a situation that I will have not M1 in class B, only M1 in class A was present, then will it should it not allow? It should allow or it should not allow. It depends on the syntax. Why it is not allowed, that I have explained you. Why it should be allowed, that is actually maybe Java will allow this in later versions, which as of now it is not allowed. Okay, okay. One more reason is there, and that reason is actually very famous reason, constructor chaining, that you should know, that I'll tell you tomorrow. Okay, as of now, the previous question was before this question about overriding, something like overriding, forgot the question, but let me come to that. Now I will come to multiple inheritance, in overriding, very famous Java interview topic, method overriding. Also I have one query here, that over burden in one class. Okay, class C has 6 methods. Okay, but it want to extend only one method from class A, one method from class B. But when it extends this, then all those method 4 methods are coming here. So why, how to restrict? Okay, so all these things will be learning here. What is overriding? Actually in the real time thing is that I don't want to change the name, but in bookish definitions you will, I don't want to change my class names, my method names. Okay, the second is that I uh, class is not satisfied with the implementation of previous class method. I will explain this thing here. What is the case? Case is that class A has a method M1. Okay, and case is that this class A B, B also wants to have m1 method, void m1. Okay, but the logic is the different here. M1 in class B, this simple print statement I have changed here, but the reality is different. Now this class B, what is happening here, class A has two methods, m1 and m2. Class B has also one method m4 and one method m1. Okay, now this anybody can ask, sir, why have you written this explicitly if class A already have this m1 method? But the problem is that if this B is not satisfied with the implementation of m1 method which is implemented in class A, it wants its own implementation. Okay, and what it should bear this burden? No. So what it should do, it should override that method. Okay, for an example, I want to click on some point in automation. I want to click on some particular button. Okay, I want to, suppose I have a, suppose I have Flipkart website, I want to redirect to Flipkart website. So before redirecting to the Flipkart website, there are several operations, and those operations may be, suppose I am launching the Google Chrome, then I am writing my URL there. Okay, then I am going to click on fashion tab. Okay, and this was happening in class A m1 method. Now class B wants some point, some difference only, which is of course launching the Google Chrome, and then it wants to redirect to Flipkart website. For all this we have to write some code. Okay, and then it want to click on some different tab like electronics. Okay, two 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 steps were same in m1 method, in A class m1 method and in B class m1 method, but the third step was changed. So this class B m1 method was not satisfied. It says that I want to do all this, but I want to click in electronics, not in fashion. So what it will do, it will override that point. Okay, so it will redirect there, it will launch the Google Chrome and redirect there, and then click on that. So it should be, it should have that reliability and flexibility to change its implementation. Okay, so the answer should be, whenever he is asking, anybody is asking in interview, what is method overriding, so your answer should be, when one class is not satisfied with the implementation of other class, then it it will be able to override the properties of its parent class. This feature is called overriding. Okay, so same it has done here. This is overridden method, this is not a new method coming from class A only, but it has changed its logic. Okay, so let me, why this is not allowed, something is changed there. M1 M2, okay, I have changed this M3 here, and that is actually M1. So let me just comment this. Okay, so B has M1 and M4. This is overridden method. Okay, class B was not satisfied of m1 method in class A, so it has overridden method. Okay, so you can, if I will call this m1 method, what should be the output? Output should be uh, m1 from class A or m1 from class B. Okay, which should be the output? I am creating the object for class B, sorry, class C. So what should be the output? Let me just comment all others. Now I will ask one by one to everyone and explain later. Class A has m1 method, class B also have m1 method. Okay, class C is extending class B. Forget about all other methods m5, m6 and m4 in class B and m2 in class A. Just keep in mind only this m1 method present in class A and m1 method present in class B, and tell me which should be the output. Anybody wants to take orientation? M1 in class B, because this method was overridden. Okay, now one more thing, if you are learning about overriding, you should try this annotation at the rate override. When you just keep your notes, okay, uh, when you write this override, then it means that you are overriding this, although this was overridden. If you write over at the rate override, or if you not write, because you have extended this class, by default Java understand everything. But if you forcefully write this keyword, then the meaning will be different. And what will be the meaning? That you are overriding this method. Okay, suppose I write this at the rate override over this method, then it will give you an error. And what will the error? You can see that create m4 in super type A. Okay, super means parent. Okay, so it is asking you to create m4 method in class A, because you are saying that class A has m4 method. How you are saying? Because you are saying that I am overriding, but it is saying that overriding. Okay, but this is not present in class A. Okay, so either you should remove this annotation, or you should create a method there in class A. Okay, okay, just remove this. Okay, yes. Okay, uh, remind me one topic: upcasting and downcasting. I will explain. This is a valid question actually, so I will explain this later on. Okay, because this is not a simple question that you have asked, because we need to understand some upcasting and downcasting concept, then only you will be able to understand how you can perform this. Of course you can perform this. Okay, and for performing that you have two points, two theories that you need to understand in Java, which is upcasting and downcasting. Okay, it means you are learning very your focus is very much there. Okay, that's why you have this question. But this is a very valid question, good question. So we need to understand these two theories, then only we'll be able to understand what is, how it is possible that you want to call. Of course this may be requirement sometimes, and it happens in real time also. Okay, so I just have noted here. If you if I don't remember, then remind me. Okay, once we are finishing up this oops concept, then I'll be explaining this. Okay, so here, as of now, apart from this question, everybody understand overriding? That I told you just, yeah, that's what I told you, that if you have mentioned this at the rate override, and in case you forget that this method is not present, then this at the rate override annotation will remind you that this method is not present in the parent class. Okay, just like it has remind you here in the M4 that this is not present in class A, in super class A. Either you create there, or you should mark as uh, or you should remove this at the rate override annotation. Okay, so uh, see, suppose now tell me what is overriding. Suppose this is your interview and I'm asking you what is overriding, what do you will tell there? Okay, is it's very simple. If if child class is not satisfied with the implementation of the parent class method, then it will override that behavior or properties in the child class. This property is called, this feature is called overriding. As simple as it is. Not that much. Whatever you understand, what is the whatever is the reality, you just explain. Nobody will ask you what you are telling and what is the bookish definition. Even if you go for the bookish definition, there may be lots of cross questions coming, because everybody now understand from where you are answering your question. Okay, okay, so I'll stop here today, and